So, you know who we do on the deep dive, right? Today, we're headed down to Nigeria,
Okay.
but not for the jollof rice this time.
Uh-huh.
We're diving deep, deep into the state of their roads
Oh.
and the wahala caused by all these overloaded trucks.
Interesting.
So you ready to kind of unpack all this with me?
Absolutely. This is not just about potholes and bad roads, is it?
No, not at all.
This is about Nigeria's entire road network.
Right.
It's the backbone of their economy, you know?
Well,
The veins and arteries keeping things flowing, keeping the country moving.
yeah, I see that.
But these overloaded trucks, oh, they're causing some serious issues.
Oh, yeah. We're talking traffic hypertension,
Traffic hypertension, okay.
putting a strain on the entire system.
I like that. So, I mean, imagine these big trucks
Yes.
packed to the brim,
Oh, yeah.
just rumbling down the road every single day.
It's common sight,
I mean, so no wonder they're really feeling the pressure. They are.
but it's not just the asphalt that we should be worried about.
No, absolutely not. The human cost is the real tragedy.
Right.
Overloaded trucks, they're a major factor in these road accidents.
Wow.
We're talking about lives lost, families impacted.
Yeah.
It's a serious, serious matter.
Isaiah, a beg.
Uh.
So what can even be done about this?
Mhm.
We're talking about a country the size of Nigeria.
Yeah.
It's not a small problem to fix.
No, and that's what makes the solution so interesting.
Okay.
What we're seeing is a mix of some really cutting-edge technology
Right.
and some very smart policies being proposed.
Okay, I like it.
One of the most promising ideas is using these IoT-based monitoring systems.
Okay, so break this down for us.
Sure.
How did these systems work?
They use what are called load cells to weigh trucks on the go.
Okay.
So while the truck is moving,
Hmm.
and if a truck is overloaded, the system can actually disable it remotely.
Wait, hold up. So they can actually stop a truck in its tracks.
Yeah.
From afar, if it's overloaded?
Yeah.
That sounds like something straight out of James Bond.
It's pretty impressive tech.
Yeah.
And then there's another system called Weigh in Motion, or WIM.
Okay.
This one uses sensors that are embedded right in the road
Oh, wow.
to constantly monitor the weight of every vehicle going over it.
Wow.
That data then gets sent to enforcement agencies in real time.
Okay.
They know exactly who's breaking the rules.
So it's like Big Brother for trucks.
Kind of, yeah.
But, with all this fancy technology,
Yeah.
the question is, how do we make sure this actually translates into safer roads?
Yeah.
We need more than just gadgets, Sabi.
Absolutely. Technology is crucial.
Yeah.
But it needs to be backed up by strong enforcement.
Okay.
So we're talking about clear laws,
Yeah.
penalties for overloading,
Right.
and ensuring that enforcement agencies are properly equipped and trained to do their job.
That makes sense. But, Nigeria is a massive place, right?
Yeah.
It has all sorts of different types of trucks and routes.
Mm-hmm.
How do you even begin to enforce all these rules,
It's a challenge.
fairly and consistently across such a vast area?
It's a very important point.
Yeah.
It really raises the question of,
Yeah.
how to strike that balance,
Yeah.
between effective enforcement, but also ensuring fairness and practicality.
Right.
One idea that is gaining some traction is the use of public-private partnerships,
PPPs.
or PPPs, yeah.
Okay.
This is where it's not just the government cracking the whip.
Okay.
They're working with the trucking industry to find solutions together.
Okay. So it takes a village to raise a child, as they say.
Exactly.
So bringing everyone to the table,
Yeah.
government, trucking companies, even the everyday people, to find solutions that work for everyone.
Precisely. It's a collaborative approach.
Yeah.
And when it's done right, it's a win-win situation.
Okay.
Safer roads,
Mm.
less damage to infrastructure, and potentially even cost savings for the trucking companies themselves.
Okay. Yeah. This is starting to make sense now.
Good.
But I have a feeling there's another piece to this puzzle,
What?
right? I mean, you can have the technology,
Mm-hmm.
the laws, the partnerships,
Right.
but how do you actually change people's behavior?
Mm.
Some drivers might not even realize the consequences of overloading
Yeah.
or think it's no big deal,
You've hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
Public awareness is absolutely key.
Okay.
Many drivers might be completely unaware of the dangers
Mhm.
of overloading, both for themselves and for others.
Yeah.
They might think, small thing, I go manage am.
Right.
Not realizing the potential consequences.
Yeah.
It's like trying to carry too many market goods at once.
Okay.
You might think you can handle it,
Yeah.
but you risk dropping everything, or worse, injuring yourself.
Yeah. You got a point there.
And that's where public awareness campaigns come in. Educating drivers, operators, and the public about the dangers, the risks, and the potential penalties.
Right.
Highlighting the damage it causes to the roads we all depend on.
So yeah, spreading the message loud and clear.
Yes.
Not just saying don't overload.
Exactly.
But really explaining why it matters.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
It's like that, that town crier approach, but for road safety.
Exactly.
And our listener, you have a part to play too.
Yes.
Share this knowledge, talk to your friends, family, even that neighbor who always overloads his danfo.
Right.
The more people who understand this issue, the more likely we are to see real change.
I agree.
Now, that's what I call a call to action. So we got technology, laws, and public awareness. It sounds like a solid plan, but the question is it actually working?
That's the millionaire question.
Okay.
And that's exactly what we'll be digging into in the next part of our deep dive. We'll explore the progress so far, the challenges that remain, and what the future holds for Nigeria's roads. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Welcome back.
All right.
So before we went off, we were talking about all this technology, all the awareness campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
But the real question is, are Nigerian roads actually getting any safer?
Nigeria's legal system, well, it can be quite complex.
Okay.
And sometimes slow-moving.
Right,
there have been cases where drivers were caught red-handed,
really?
overloading.
Wow.
But they got away with it.
With little or no punishment because of loopholes in the law or delays in the court system.
You know how they say?
What's that?
The cockroach is never innocent in the gathering of fowls.
That's a good one. I like that.
So even when you catch them, holding them accountable is a whole other story.
That's a very apt analogy.
Yeah.
It highlights the issue perfectly. It's not just about the technology or the laws,
Right.
It's about having a system where those laws are enforced.
Yeah.
Consistently and fairly, no matter who you are.
Okay, so we need the tech. We need a solid legal framework.
Yes.
But what about those public awareness campaigns?
Yeah.
Are people even paying attention to those?
Well, there are some encouraging signs.
Okay.
The FRC and other organizations, they've been using all sorts of methods, from radio jingles to billboards to even social media campaigns.
Nice.
And it seems to be having an impact.
Okay.
People are becoming more aware.
Oh, people are becoming more aware.
They are.
It's got to be a good thing.
It is.
But how do you actually know if these campaigns are changing people's behavior?
Right.
I mean, seeing a billboard,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean people will just stop overloading their trucks automatically.
Of course, but there are ways to measure the effectiveness of these campaigns.
Okay.
You can conduct surveys,
Okay.
to gauge people's awareness and their attitudes towards overloading.
Mm-hmm.
You can track the number of reports and complaints
Oh, okay.
about overloaded trucks, That gives you an idea of whether people are more likely to speak up when they see something wrong.
Smart.
So it's not just about putting up the posters,
Right.
It's about whether they actually change people's thinking.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
What other approaches are being used to kind of tackle this problem?
Well, some organizations are really tapping into that community spirit, that sense of shared responsibility.
It takes a village approach.
Exactly.
How does that work in practice?
Well, there are campaigns encouraging people to report overloaded trucks, for example,
Oh, well,
if they see one.
oh, I see.
Like a neighborhood watch for road safety.
Nice, I like it.
Some groups are even working directly with local communities,
Okay.
educating them about the damage that these trucks do to their roads and infrastructure.
Brilliant.
When people feel personally invested,
Yeah,
they're more likely to care.
right.
They're more likely to take action.
It's like they say, monkey no fine, but am mama, like am.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
about fostering that sense of ownership
Mm,
and responsibility.
right.
After all, safer roads benefit everybody.
Exactly.
But there's another side to this that we haven't really touched on, and that's the perspective of the truck drivers
Yeah.
and the owners themselves.
Yeah, we've talked about the government, the tech, the public,
Mhm.
but what about the people behind the wheel,
Yeah.
What are their reasons for doing this?
To understand that, we need to delve into the economics of the trucking industry in Nigeria,
Okay,
which is a whole other deep dive.
that's fascinating. We'll have to say that for another time.
We will.
But for now, let's kind of shift gears a little bit and look at the road ahead.
Okay.
What does the future hold for Nigerian roads?
Great idea. There are some exciting developments on the horizon.
Okay, tell me more.
Things that could really revolutionize road safety in Nigeria.
Oh, I'm all ears. Okay, I'm all ears. What's got you so excited about the future of Nigerian roads?
Well, one of the most promising trends I'm seeing is how technology is being used.
Okay.
Not just for catching rule breakers,
Right.
but for making the entire trucking industry more efficient and
Okay.
transparent.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Break it down for us.
All right, so right now, a lot of the trucking business in Nigeria relies on,
Yeah.
informal networks,
Okay.
paperwork, a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And that can lead to inefficiencies, delays, and it can even,
Yeah.
open the door for corruption.
Right.
But with smartphones and internet access becoming more and more common.
Yeah, it's everywhere now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a huge opportunity to bring the industry into the digital age.
So like using apps and online platforms
Yeah.
to connect truckers with cargo, track shipments,
Mm-hmm.
manage payments,
Yes.
kind of like the Uber or Bolt of trucking.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And some of these platforms are already including features
Okay.
that directly address overloading.
So they're thinking ahead.
Yeah, they can help companies, for example,
Okay.
optimize their loads
Okay.
to stay within the legal limits
Right.
or connect them with weigh bridges
Mm-hmm.
along their route so they can double check their weight before hitting the road.
See, now that's smart.
It is.
It's like taking all those messy papers and turning them into
Right.
a streamlined digital system.
Exactly.
But I'm guessing it's not all smooth sailing though, right?
Oh, of course not. What are some of the challenges you're seeing? Well, one of the biggest challenges is getting everyone on board
Right.
with these new technologies.
Okay.
Not all trucking companies,
Yeah.
especially smaller ones,
Right.
they may not have access to smartphones
Mm.
or reliable internet.
Yeah.
And even if they do have the technology,
Yeah.
we need to make sure people are properly trained to use it
That's true.
effectively.
You can't just throw tech at a problem and expect it to magically disappear.
Exactly. It takes more than that.
These platforms have the potential to
They do?
make a real difference.
Yeah.
Not just for safety, but for the entire industry as a whole.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Now, so it's like they say, to fix a broken leg, you need more than just a bandage.
That's a good one.
You need to address the root cause and get everyone on board with the solution.
Well said. It's about education, it's about awareness,
Yeah.
and a genuine commitment to change.
Yeah. It's about taking pride in our roads
Yes.
and understanding that safe driving benefits everyone.
Exactly.
And hopefully one day, the only traffic hypertension we'll be dealing with
Yeah.
is the kind that comes from eating too much jollof rice.
Now that's a future I can get behind.
Well, folks, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into saving Nigeria's roads. We've covered a lot of ground today, from high-tech solutions to the importance of public awareness, to the challenges of enforcement, and even a glimpse into the future of the trucking industry.
Yeah,
We've also raised some important questions along the way,
we did.
like how can we ensure that these solutions are implemented effectively
Right.
and fairly across the board?
Yeah.
How can we truly create that culture of safety and responsibility on our roads?
Those are the right questions to be asking.
These are big questions, but they're the right ones to be asking.
They are?
Because at the end of the day, the future of Nigerian roads is in all of our hands.
It is.
So let's keep the conversation going, share this knowledge.
Yes,
Let's work together to make our roads safer for everyone.
I agree.
Until next time, you drive safe and stay curious.